To be candid, Strom Thurmond's record always kind of just really irked me, that he would be the longest speech, that the longest speech on our great Senate floor was someone who was trying to stop people like me from being in the Senate. So to surpass that was something I didn't know if we could do, but it was something that was really, as we got closer, became more and more important to me.
So yes, folks, Cory Booker has broke the record that was formerly held by Strom Thurmond. It truly is history in the making. And I just want to take a minute and talk to people on our side about the historical significance of this. Whether you agree with Cory Booker or disagree with Cory Booker on issues at this point, to me, is absolutely irrelevant. It's got nothing to do with whether or not we agree with the guy on every single thing. It's about the fact that at this time in American history, he was willing to stand up there and go the distance that long to talk about the true issues that matter. And he wasn't up there in a clown suit. He wasn't up there trying to push a bunch of WWE rhetoric. He was speaking to the moment. He was talking about the issues at hand that we've all been worried about, our democracy, the authoritarian regime that we're having to stare down now. And he stood up there for 25 hours and 5 minutes, and I just have to hand it to the dude. I truly do. I'm going to play you one clip. Obviously, I'm not going to play the entire thing, although I did see some channels streaming it all. Thank y'all for streaming it. It was kind of crazy because people's like, he's still talking. He's still talking. And I've been busy trying to get ready for a trip that I'm going on. I'm going to be speaking at a protest, and so I've been trying to get ready for that trip, and I've had my mind on what I'm going to say when I get there and that kind of thing. And I've just been really busy, tying up a lot of loose ends before I could leave. And I was like, well, I'm going to watch his speech eventually. And then somebody's like, no, well, it just went 25 hours and 5 minutes. So we're not going to show the entire thing, obviously. But I really liked this section, and I wanted to focus in on this. So let's roll this one, and then we'll talk more about it.
And now it's our generation. We have to redeem the dream. We have to excite people again. He, in the highest office of our land, wants to divide us against ourselves, wants to make us afraid, wants to make us fear so much that we're willing to violate people's fundamental rights. We're willing to go after the speech on college campuses. We're willing to go after law firms, go after the freedom of the press. Don't let him do that. Don't become like him. Be an American that says, I look to the future and I'm excited. Yes, things are tough right now. They're hard, they're scary, they're hurting, but we can overcome this. Our American history, if it's nothing else, American history, if it's nothing else, it is a perpetual testimony to the achievement of impossible things against impossible odds. We are a nation that is great not because of the people that are trying to whitewash our history, to remove great people, Native Americans, black people, and women from our military websites. I don't want a Disneyfication of our history. I don't want to whitewash history. I don't want to homogenize history. Tell me the wretched truth about America, because that speaks to our greatness. And so what do I want people to do? It starts with us, man, and you're doing it. I've seen courage of my colleagues. We're doing it, but we have to do more, and I'm sorry. I'm not going to be a politician that's going to say, we are going to do more for you. I'm going to be a politician. I'm going to be a leader that demands more from America.
Will the senator yield for one last question?
I yield for a question while retaining the floor.
You know, folks, he said more right there in that 1 minute and 43-second clip than anyone in the MAGA movement, Donald Trump or anyone in the MAGA movement, has said in the last 8 years. They go out there and they spew nothing but verbal diarrhea. They go out there and they work so hard at dividing this country, and they prey on people's emotions, and they get people fighting culture wars, and they get people all worked up fighting for things that doesn't matter and fighting against things that's their own interest. And it's so frustrating. So we've got someone who was willing to stand up there for 25 hours and 5 minutes. There's no way that I could sit here in this chair and criticize Cory Booker for that. There's no way. I know a lot of people will say Democrats suck at messaging. We want someone who'll stand up and speak out. Hey, I've said here on the channel many times, Democrats, messaging is not their strong suit. But Booker went out there and he talked about the issues at hand. He constantly brought across the points that so many of us have been making. So forget about what you agree or disagree with him on and recognize the historical moment that this truly is. We have to come together and we have to move this nation forward. And we have to understand that we're not always going to agree on every single issue. But we have to understand what we're up against. I keep saying that. I know I'm going to get repetitive in my videos, but it's about driving the point home. I've often said, I was a musician for over 25 years. The reason why that people requested certain cover tunes and you get tired of hearing them and you get tired of hearing bands play them, or if you're in a band, you get tired of having that song requested, it's because they got drilled in people's heads. It's because they got played constantly. And MAGA plays their worst hits every single day from every echo chamber that they can. They drive their points home from Fox News, from all the right-wing media that's out there, Newsmax, all the bro podcasters, the Joe Rogans, all the churches. You have to throw them in there. They're media too. They throw that stuff out there constantly. They push that shit constantly. They will dress up in a clown suit. They'll do whatever they have to do to put on whatever type of theater they have to put on in order to get out there and act like what they did that day is the greatest thing ever. And if you listen to Elon Musk right now, he just keeps repeating the same talking point over and over again. We're very transparent. We're very transparent. We're putting it all on the Doge website. We're putting it all over here on X. We're trying to do the will of the American people through the president. Well, this isn't the will of the American people, dude. We didn't vote for you. We care about the issues at hand, and we want to see this country move forward. And props to Cory Booker for being willing to stand up there that long and talk about it. That is 25 hours and 5 minutes of someone talking about the issues at hand versus over 8 years of MAGA pushing one of the most toxic ideologies. A generation has been raised up to believe that Donald Trump, RFK Jr., Elon Musk, all the billionaire tech bros, they think all that is normal. They think every bit of that is normal. They're going to grow up thinking this is how American politics is supposed to look. So we're going to have to go back and we're going to have to replay that and show them Cory Booker and say, look, here was one guy that for that amount of time stood up and talked about the issues at hand that we all care about. So to the people on our side, I want you to understand where I'm coming from. No, we're not like them. We're not in a cult. It's okay to criticize our own. It's okay to not always agree. You can disagree with me on this take if you want to. Fine. But I'm not standing here fighting against democracy. I'm fighting for it. I'm not standing here trying to throw away the Constitution and terminate it. I'm standing up for it. So to the people out there who get so upset if they hear one thing, one thing. I've had people message me. I've had it happen. But I don't like to sit here and talk about my trolls or my comment sections or the emails I get from people who have parted ways. But I have had people. Yeah, Brando, I listened to 10 of your videos and I loved them. I loved everything you had to say, but that 11th video at the 7-minute and 47-second mark, boy, you said something right there. I got to go, Brando. Well, don't let the door hit your ass, pal. Go. I don't care. Because I'm still going to be sitting right here talking about the issues that matter. And I may not always get it right, and I'll admit when I don't. But I'm always going to be sitting here talking about the issues at hand. So whether I've agreed with everything Cory Booker said in the past or disagreed with him, that's all irrelevant. It's that he had the guts to go out there and do that, and I have to give it respect. And I will encourage people to watch the entire 25 hours because we've had 8 long years of a cancer on American society that calls itself MAGA. And yes, I believe that's what it is. I believe it's a disease. I'm not joking. I know people said, golly, that's pretty intense. I seen Don Lemon on Bill Maher a while back, and Bill Maher said, I think that's going to be offensive to some people. And Don Lemon said, well, the truth sometimes is offensive. And that's how it is when it comes to MAGA. But I'm proud that Cory Booker broke the record that was held by such a vile godfather of MAGA. So, yeah, I will always have respect for that dude. And I think we should. Let's just keep pushing forward. Let's keep standing on the side of truth and democracy. Either way you slice it, I still believe and always will believe we were on the right side of history. So I really appreciate y'all for your support here on the channel. If you haven't already, be sure and hit that subscribe button. We're cruising toward 1 million subscribers, and I believe we can get there, and I truly appreciate all of you. So Thanks for listening. And yeah, that's a long speech, but I think people really needs to go back and study it. When they study this time in American history, I hope that's what they go to.